Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today we are discussing one rare bird. This is the Jaeger-LeCoultre Albatross Moon Phase with complete calendar. It's a watch that's sold in small numbers, fewer still in North America, but what makes this example so special is that unlike most watches, including haute horlogerie timepieces from the 80s, this example comes with its original boxed set, including a dated warranty card from 1989. So this late 80s complication from JLC is fully documented and beautifully preserved in a way that's almost unheard of for a watch, even a Patek or a Vacheron from this era. So the Albatross II was part of JLC's recovery from the depths of the quartz crisis, and there wasn't much left by the early 1980s when the company celebrated its 1983 anniversary. It was, after all, founded as LeCoultre in 1833, but a lot of folks thought that might be the last major anniversary for the old company. Well, this watch, sold in 1989, represents a return to complicated watchmaking in the haute horlogerie class, and it is best described as a dressy sports watch because automatic winding and mostly steel with some yellow gold. It is also 100 meters water resistant. It measures 35 millimeters across. It measures a svelte, and I do mean svelte, 8.7 millimeters given the automatic winding and the water resistance, 39.7 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, a kinder, gentler time when a man could wear a smaller watch, and yet because of the fully integrated bracelet and lugs, it looks a lot bigger than its 35 millimeter width and its sub 40 millimeter lug-to-lug dimension on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. This is a lovely timepiece that wears easily underneath the cuff and would wear well on a wrist of perhaps any size, no matter how small. So while originally designed as a masculine option, today anyone can wear this unisex size timepiece. And the preservation of the bracelet is just as remarkable as the preservation of the original boxed set. You can see these intermediate links are alternately polished and satinated. The gold, fully polished. The steel, polished on their flanks and satinated across their tops. And back in the day, this would have been done laboriously, the same as with the Royal Oak. JLC was much less automated back then. There's also a little rolled bevel in polish on the flanks of the links, and you can see on their face they're satinated with removable links fixed by screws, but the entire bracelet theoretically capable of dismantling by removing the retaining bars. Nevertheless, the primary removable links are fixed by screws. We have a double folding clasp, and you can see that it is a friction fit clasp, as was the way back then. Fully integrated into the case. And you can see that lug junction is quite unusual. The case is flat and almost a tonneau profile. It's very much of the 70s. Even though it was built in the 80s, the look is very much that established by Gerald Genta, Jörg Heisig, and others back in the 1970s. The bezel is sort of a rounded polygon, again, inspired by that era, but the details of the case are surpassing. You can see there's a little bit of fluting at the four corners of the case. We have a bevel that runs the full case band, satination on the case sides, and then a fully polished and double gadroon yellow gold bezel. We have a slightly recessed crown. You can see pushers for the complex calendar system. It is a triple calendar moon phase, a complication long in the JLC catalog dating back to its pocket watch days. For most of the last 2 centuries, JLC has almost always had some sort of a calendar watch in the catalog. And dating back to, I would say, at least the caliber 912 in the 30s, it has had a wristwatch of that description in the catalog. Now, on the dial side, we have a sapphire and dial that actually have the same shape as the inner bezel. This is unusual. You'll note the inner face of the Royal Oak with its bezel, dial, and sapphire all round. It's more difficult to fit this sort of sapphire and to make it water resistant. But again, this is not just water resistant like a dress watch, it is 100 meters. The dial is off-white, sort of an eggshell ecru, lovely lush lacquer. We have all applied gold Roman numerals, JL logo, and indices. We have a polished chaptering framing the lunette-style moon phase, and it is a simple calendar, so you will adjust it 5 times a year, but it is a complex calendar in the sense that it has the day, the date, the month, and the moon phase all at once. On the reverse side, this Albatross 2 is remarkably well preserved. As you can see, all of the engravings are super deep. Typically, JLC caseback engravings, especially reference numbers and serial numbers from this period, tended to be the first thing that would go with wear and refinishing. And you can see here it's all well preserved. And I guess they don't have the rhyme of the ancient mariner in Switzerland, because here the albatross is thought to be an auspicious sign. And perhaps if you're wearing this watch, it is. Inside we have JLC automatic caliber, manufacturer movement, needless to say, caliber 888, which was an automatic winding predecessor to the well-known 889. It's 4-position adjusted. It is a bidirectional winder. It has a 38 to 40 hour power reserve. It is a 30 joule movement with a stop seconds function. So even though this watch doesn't have a seconds hand, it does have a stop seconds function. It is a thin and fine movement, about 26 millimeters across and only 3.25 millimeters thick, extensively hand finished. It is truly an haute horlogerie heart for a watch to match. And again, this one, with its condition, its rarity as a model, and its fully documented boxed set, might be unique. You would be hard-pressed to find another Albatross 2 complete calendar moon phase like this one. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.